Hello, my friend. Welcome to today's podcast episode. And we're talking about something I get questions on. I've been in a good routine with. I finally feel like I've in a good groove to give some solid recommendations and that's on skincare. And we're going to touch a little bit on makeup at the end of this. I'm not saying this episode is listen to me. I am a professional and I know what you should be using. I'm talking like a big sis, or like if you didn't have a girly mom, I'm here to give you that type of advice as friend to friend, big sis to little sis, or girly girl to like somebody who doesn't dabble in skincare and makeup type of stuff. So context, I'm not a professional. I've just found something that works really well for me and has worked for a lot of people because I've been recommending and talking about various products for years now. And I'm going to leave the name of a lot of products. I may have a link or two to put into the show notes, but the rest you may just have to write down what it is and pop it into Google, because with podcasting, it only lets you link so many things, but you can look for anything I talk about in the show notes. And let's roll into it. Welcome to Living in Sync. This is a wellness and lifestyle podcast for ladies in their 30s. We've got a lot going on, and on this show, we're going to talk about it all. I'm your host, Joelle. If you're into health, wellness, fitness, beauty, fashion, business, career, time management hacks, organization, girl chats, goal setting, mom things, and everything in between, I hope this show supports you in whatever you need today. Let's dig into today's episode. We're going to kick this off talking really simply. My routine isn't a ton of products, and if you're not in a big skincare routine right now, I'm going to have you really have the entire gamut covered with like 6 products. And I have been using these. I have been recommending these for a long time, and I still use them today and have them on auto shipment every 75 days because that seems to be a pretty good cycle for me. But these came in full size as a pack in full size products, and now they have a smaller set. So for a little bit more affordable, you can try everything that I mentioned, and it's called the Works Discovery Set. And this is from Dime Beauty Skincare, Dime Beauty Co. I will have the link for this. And if you really feel like, hey, I want to try all of these and get the full size, definitely do that. But you can get the system as a trial, and it comes with the 6 things that I recommend there. It's a wash, a toner, a vitamin C serum, a hyaluronic acid, a dewy day cream, and a night cream. And I'm going to talk about how these are all used, but it's the Works Discovery Set, and it's $49. And that is a really affordable way to see if you like these products, if your skin's going to have any type of like immediate reaction to them. I will say these are not high end. They're also not low end. It's a good middle of the range, pretty decent of skincare quality. If you are like a fully I'm going green, non-toxic girly, there's probably some things in these that you wouldn't be comfortable taking. I have loved them and used them for years, so I feel comfortable using these products for the longevity and the health and all of the benefits for my skin. But this is a really cool set where it's the Works Discovery Set for $49. I get the full size. But I think this is a really great way to try them out. So I will share what I do and break it down into morning, evening, extras, and then we'll end the episode talking about the couple little skincare tips, hacks that I have for you. So in the morning, really all I do is I use the cleanser and wash my face. And this is the Gentle Jelly Cleanser. It comes in the pack. And then once I've gotten out of the shower, I put the Dewy Day Cream in my hand, and then I put some drops of the Hyperglow, which is their vitamin C, and I mix those together because the Hyperglow is really runny on its own. And when I was applying it just to my hand and like trying to get it from my hand to my face, it would all absorb into my hand. So what I do now is I mix the Dewy Day Cream with the Hyperglow, and that's literally the only skincare I do in the morning, you guys. Wash my face, add my moisturizer with the serum, the vitamin C Hyperglow serum, and that's it. So 2 steps because I'm mixing the cream and the Hyperglow together. And then I put on my makeup. I guess I'm going to share a makeup hack early. When it comes to putting on your foundation, it is best to do pretty closely after you've moisturized. If that's not possible, for example, if I for whatever reason, wash my face, put on my moisturizer with my Hyperglow, and then I'm doing things and I put makeup on later in the day, I then will just take a tiny bit of the Dewy Day Cream and like put a little onto my skin to add some hydration, and then I do my foundation. Your foundation will look a lot more flawless if you put it on when your skin is hydrated. If you're just putting it on top of like really dry skin, I would highly recommend like using a primer or just put a little bit more of your everyday moisturizer on and then do your foundation. We're going to come back to more foundation tips, but that's all I do in the morning. In the evening, what I do is I wash my face. So once again, I'm using that same cleanser. And for a long time, I would use the hyaluronic acid serum. And you might be thinking, is hyaluronic acid really like drying? Is it stinging? No, actually, it kind of feels like a cooling gel. I think hyaluronic acid is getting more hype for it really helping hydrate your skin. So the hyaluronic acid serum, to me, what it feels like is like a nice moisturizing barrier to put onto the skin that actually really calms and really soothes the skin. I don't have much for problematic skin in the sense of like acne and whatnot, although I have had people on my social that do have acne prone skin and they have tried their acne specific products and they have told me like, Joelle, they're good. They're good. So I can't speak to that out of personal recommendation. That's just what I've heard through other people. But I, with my skin, I get redness and like kind of drying skin. I'd say mine is like normal to dry, especially in the fall, winter at the time of I'm recording this. So that hyaluronic acid serum is actually extremely hydrating. And then I use the restorative night cream. So once again, 2 steps. I don't mix together the hyaluronic acid serum and the night cream because it's not as watery. It kind of feels like a gel serum. It's very, 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 very soothing and hydrating for the skin. And then I slather on the restorative night cream. That has been my basis for years. Now, like I said, the system comes with a toner. I forget to do the toning a lot. So if you want to be regimented with using the toner for your skin, that's your prerogative. I don't know. I like it like super simple and easy. Sometimes I'll use the toner, sometimes I won't. Like it just kind of depends on how I'm feeling, but a lot of time I skip the toner. And somebody who's a professional is probably like, Joelle, no, you need to tone and this is why. And send me a message and let me know, so I will take your information into consideration. But at this time, skipping the toner has actually worked really well for me, but I like that it comes in the system. So then if you do want to try it. Now I'm going to talk about like body, because it is really, really, really important to keep your skin hydrated all over your body. So don't forget to exfoliate. I love just dry brushing. I have one of those dry brushes in my shower, and while my shower is heating up, I don't do like a whole method because for me, I'm not dry brushing necessarily for like proper lymphatic drainage. I'm just like I'm wanting to do like a really quick exfoliant of my skin. So I quick dry brush and I get in the shower. But what I make sure I'm using, especially in the fall and winter, is a body oil and a body butter. And you bet your bottom dollar, I've tried other brands, like I've used the bio oil, I've used other brands of body oils, but I actually, once again, really do like the Glaze Hydrating Body Oil, and also the whipped body butter from Dime. If you're just wanting to make have a good system and a good routine, I actually love those two products. If you do not want to use that body oil, the other one I really love and literally am obsessed with the smell with, and I don't know if they make it anymore. I don't see it in the stores when I go to Target, but you can check online, is the Freshie Cashmere Vanilla Body Oil from the Freshie line. So it's FRESHE. I'll put that in the show notes, but I didn't really care for their body lotion. I didn't find that it to me felt really oily and sticky, but the actual body oil was so good. And the cashmere vanilla smell, I mean, don't sell these out, but I even love the Freshie Cashmere Vanilla candles. Every time I burn that in my house, if somebody's coming over, they're like, your house smells so good. I'm going to restock on my candles, but go get you some. They're really good. And then for extras, so like my everyday system has been so simple for years and years, but a couple extras I like to treat myself to is going to a place and getting some kind of facial and a dermaplane. I really love having a professional dermaplane because I think they really do a much better job than the at-home dermaplaning. And especially when you're dermaplaning and you're taking that fresh layer off of your face, like when a professional is doing it, they're doing it with gloves on. There's clean and sanitary. Like I think it's really, there are definitely times where I take a little razor to my upper lip just to clean that up in between my dermaplanes, but I love getting a full dermaplane done. And I also love getting either some type of hydrating or sculpting facial. So I know this is a chain, so there's probably one near you, but I like going to, oh my gosh, Face Foundry in Fargo. And I like doing their a really hydrating facial, like the glow facial, or I like doing their sculpt. I will preface and tell you, like their sculpting facial is intentionally meant to get the fluid moving out of your face. And they do use a couple techniques where you're like, why are they like not necessarily slapping your face, but they're just kind of moving. And I have TMJ. I'm going to talk about that in a second. So sometimes for me, those sculpting facials where they're really working on like the muscles of my face actually feels so good. It's not as relaxing as like a hydrating or a glow type of facial, but the benefits of it, I mean, I don't need it to be like this Zen spa experience because I know what I'm getting from it is so good. And then in 2020, I started prioritizing Gua Sha. And this would be something you want to go on TikTok or Instagram, but it's spelled GUASHA, Gua Sha. And it's basically having you use this tool for moving. I don't know what it does, but it feels good. And like I said, I have TMJ, so I tend to hold a lot of tension in my face, you guys. I hold a lot of tension and fluid in my face, and this really helps that. The how to do it is you've got to find a professional on TikTok or Instagram. And once you find one good video, just save it to like your favorites or something so you can refer back to it time and time again. Because I'm not going to talk about like, I don't know if I'm doing it right, so I don't want to say how I do it, but it really does help with like easing the tension in my face. And also, does it help move the fluid? I don't know. But for me, I'm somebody who holds a lot of tension in my face, it's really helpful. And then I'm going to talk about Botox. I am going to talk about Botox because I am new to it. like I said, have TMJ. And when I was talking to my dentist about it, they recommended a mouth guard, which was like $3,000. But when my dentist was looking at my teeth, he's like, it doesn't look like it's like your teeth are being worn down by night grinding or something like that. He's like, on my people who have wear from night grinding, you don't have those signs. And it's just this like tenseness in my jaw. One of my girlfriends works at Altair Clinic in Fargo, which shout out to Altair. They are the absolute best. Was like, why don't you come in and try it out and talk to Dr. Tammy at Altair and see like what she thinks. You guys, I went in. I was so nervous. I was so scared. I was so hesitant. But I did treatment for my TMJ, and we didn't use like the name brand Botox. We used Zeman, but I let Dr. Tammy give me the information about what she thought, like what product, what tox to put into my face actually. And I went with her recommendation of Zeman because it's a little bit quicker acting. And when there's that jaw pain, it's like you kind of want to work with the thing that's going to relieve the pain the fastest. And so I did it one time it was between Thanksgiving and Christmas of 2023. And you guys, I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. I do not know why I didn't do it sooner. And so I've been getting treatment as recommended by Tammy to help with my TMJ because my masseter muscles have gotten so big, so tight, and so tense that the goal of it is to help atrophy those really tough muscles. I'm also pairing this with doing some relaxation techniques. I mentioned Gua Sha being one of them. I've done my dentist did recommend a couple different ways to make sure my tongue is positioned in my mouth in a way that helps my jaw release. So I'm not only relying on the Zeman, I'm going to refer to it as Botox, but like I'm not relying on just that to ease my tension. I'm trying to do the other like lifestyle things that would be helpful so then I don't just keep like clenching and rebuilding it back up again or continue to have that tension go elsewhere in my face. But the last time I went in for my jaw Zeman, I was like, what if we just did a little on my foreheads? Because I noticed like one of the lines in my forehead was just getting really, really deep. And Dr. Tammy, and why I recommend her is she is so knowledgeable and she very, very strategically places it so it doesn't look like too much, but you get the result that you're wanting to see. So I did a tiny bit of Botox in my 11 lines, and I do have she explained this. She's like, you have a really small surface area on your forehead. So I'm not going to put a ton on your forehead because that's just going to make it feel really heavy. And she did just a little bit. And so I can definitely still like scowl and I can definitely still raise my eyebrows. I can have that bit of facial expression. It's not completely frozen. Not that if you like that look, go for that look. That's fine. You do you. But I still feel like mine is very, very natural at this point. It was the perfect amount for me to just soften the lines of my forehead. And actually, as I'm talking about this and I shared all of what I'm using in my skincare, this kind of leads me into talking about another extra, which is when I went to get my skin overall checked by Dr. Tammy, just to look at moles and spots and various things like that. I asked her, like, what do you think I could do? And this was before I got the Botox in my forehead. And she recommended a product called AlphaRet. And I really, really like this. It's AlphaRet by Better Skin Science. And I bought the one product. It was spendy. It's medical grade skincare. So it's spendy. It's going to last a long time because you only put it on at night. So now at night, I'm putting on the AlphaRet and then the restorative night cream. So I'm now trying and eliminating, I've added another step to my nighttime routine now. But if you don't already have like a good system that's like your cleanser your moisturizer and like one serum when you're ready, if you feel like it. And it's a retinol, and I have noticed like big skin changes in just the overall tone and texture of my skin. And so I'm using AlphaRet, and I've been really, really liking that. But actually, I'm going to share this with you guys. I have used the Dime skincare for years and years and years and years and years. And I've heard, you really should, quote unquote, should cycle out of what you regularly use sometimes. And I was recently at our local ladies' night event, and I won the prize from Altair Clinic, and it was a new skincare set. So I've got a couple other products to put into the mix and try and see how it goes. It's like the Better Skin Sciences vitamin C. So for a little bit, I'm going to take a break from the Dimes vitamin C and see if this medical grade one is any better. And you guys know me. If it's genuinely better, I will tell you. If I say, I didn't really see any sort of difference using medical grade versus what I just recommended, I'll tell you, and I'll be honest. So I've used what I've talked about today. I've used and used and used and used and used when it comes to the Dime skincare. And now I'm putting to the test, because we hear people say like, buy medical grade skincare. It makes all the difference in the world. And I'm putting it to the test, and I'll let you know. Okay. So, and then that's kind of fun too, because with what I won, there was a gift card for a certain amount off of a laser. So I've heard about the BBL laser, not the Brazilian butt lift, like a face laser, or I'll see what Dr. Tammy recommends for my skin as far as like some type of laser treatment. And if I do that, when I do something like that, I'll let you know what I did and what I thought. Kind of interesting and different. And I've heard really good things about ladies who have done different peels or laser treatments or whatever. So I'll see what Dr. Tammy recommends for me. But if you are thinking about like stepping into Botox or seeing because they don't just do like Botox and Zeman and fillers and lasers and stuff, like genuinely everybody at Altair Clinic in Fargo, if you are local, is absolutely incredible. And if you are thinking about getting Botox or fillers or anything, my suggestion is to go to a very well established practice with like really experienced professionals. And always start small. Like there's definitely, like I said with my and I used Zeman because we were using Zeman for my TMJ treatment. So we just used the same product in my forehead. And so I would definitely just recommend start with a little bit and see if you aesthetically like it. So now moving into makeup. So circling back to dermaplaning, you guys, after you get a dermaplane, let your skin rest for like 24 to 48 hours. Be very careful, but like the way makeup applies after getting a dermaplane is next level. It's incredible. It's fantastic. And it's so amazing. Your skin will feel so, so good after a dermaplane. But here's the thing about foundation. And we talked about foundation being put on with some type of moisturizing base. So you might think, and I even saw for a long time, like, why are these ladies using makeup primers before their foundation? It helps for it to settle on the skin and stay on the skin, right? And that's the main tip about foundation that I wanted to tell you guys. This is like the big sis advice or the girly, if you didn't have a girly mom growing up. When it comes to foundation, so often you determine if you like it or not by how it feels or how it looks when you're initially applying it. I want you to take that into consideration, but where you really want to determine, is this a good foundation? Do I like this foundation? Is about 3 hours after you've put it on. How has it set? How has it lasted? Because there is a big difference between a makeup that looks really good on when you immediately put it on, but looks like yucky and orange and oxidized and yucky and dry and flaky 3 hours after. Like, I don't care what my foundation looks and feels like in the first 10 minutes of applying it. I want to know what it looks like a couple hours after I've applied it. How long does it stay on? So you guys, if you followed me for years, you know my favorite is by IT Cosmetics. And I've always used the CC cream by IT Cosmetics. That's full coverage. I actually just started to try the one that is medium coverage. I'm not sure if I recommend it yet. Today I put it on and I'm thinking I'm really liking it. But when you are determining foundation, you definitely just want to keep that in mind that, you know, even, and that was the feedback I got on the IT Cosmetics CC cream was people were like, oh, it's just really cakey and thick when I put it on. And I'm like, well, yeah, because it also has really great skincare type of ingredients and that are beneficial for your skin. And so when it sets though, is when it looks so good and it lasts, and it just, when it wears throughout the day, it doesn't look weird or uneven. It just wears really nicely. So while it may not feel really like, it feels kind of heavier when you first put it on, and I apply it with either a brush or a sponge, just depends on. I definitely at times too, is like, this is kind of thick, this is whatever, but I know it's going to wear much longer and it looks nicer throughout the day, which matters more to me than it just, you know, feeling good right when I put it on my face initially, if that makes sense. And then when it comes to makeup, ladies, when we are over 35, we need to apply our makeup in different spots to give the illusion of more lift to our face. And there is a really great Instagram/TikTok creator. Her name is Erica Taylor. Her handle is Erica with a C, Taylor 2347. And I will link her profile in the show notes, because with all these other things and products that I mentioned, you can pop it into Google and search it anywhere and it'll pop up. But I know when it comes to recommending specific content creators, it's really nice to have a link just straight to their profile. But Erica Taylor gives these really incredible tutorials on like how we used to apply makeup to how we need to apply makeup now. And some of the tips are just, you're using the same products, but you're using a different technique for application, but it just gives more of a lifted look. And I mean, start with, you know, just the face first, meaning you're wanting to use more of a lighter foundation, which is why I kind of gravitated towards the medium coverage in the CC cream this time around, because with thicker foundation, sometimes it can go more into your fine lines. And putting your blush higher up on your cheek and your cheekbone. We're not putting heavy concealer under the eye anymore. We're not putting our bronzer like right in the depths or the hollow of the cheekbone. You're putting it more angled and at the top of the cheekbone. When it comes to eye makeup, I've changed how I do my eyeliner on a day-to-day, where I'm not doing like a really heavy look anymore. I'm doing more of an eye, like I'm just following her tips and techniques kind of one by one. I'm not putting my darker eyeshadow in the like crease or like heavy into the crease of my eye, but I'm kind of starting more on the lower brow bone with my darker eyeshadow. So it's just a few, you don't even have to go buy a whole bunch of new products. I mean, I think her recommendations on products are really good because she has a variety of like drugstore versus higher end that she recommends, but it's just placing these products in a little bit of a different area that gives more of a lifted look. Because when we're like 35-ish and even older, use these tips and techniques, and you can see, because she does one side, it looks kind of crazy, but she does one side of her face with the old methods and the other side of her face with the new methods. And when she like shows both, you can see how one, it's like the eye is weighed down, the eye is looking heavier, the cheek and the jawline is looking heavier. And then on the other side, it's like lifted and snatched, and the eye, like your eye is just drawn upwards, and it creates more of a youthful look. So we've got to be applying our makeup differently, and you don't necessarily have to go buy all new products. Just use a little bit different methods in applicating. And so I highly recommend going to Erica Taylor's page, watching some of her videos, and they are super, super helpful. And it is kind of crazy how a lot of what she's teaching, it does lean towards more a natural but still mature looking makeup look. Because when I was in my early 20s, you guys, I was so into watching the YouTube beauty gurus. Like a lot of my makeup tips and techniques were taught by makeup beauty gurus. But also, if you guys have a daughter, do this with your daughter, because my mom did this with me, and it was one of the best memories I ever had with her. One of the best memories I ever had with her. But there is a place where she buys her makeup. I don't know if this is like a nationwide thing, but there's a place where she buys her makeup called Meryl Norman. And this wonderful, really nice lady owns Meryl Norman. And when I was starting to get into makeup, my mom had me go in, and she actually asked if one of like the younger college student age gals, so maybe it's somebody at a department store makeup counter or somebody at a different, and just ask, like, can I bring my daughter in and you show her how to do her makeup, and we'll buy a couple products. Like I remember my mom buying 2 things when I got my makeup done, and then the rest we kind of filled in with drugstore, because obviously with teenagers, you don't need to buy them like a full face of makeup from a high-end place. But it was just such a fun experience where I came in, and I remember it like it was yesterday, where this beautiful gal showed me how to put my makeup on, and she showed me mostly eyeshadow and eyeliner that was complementary to my brown eyes, and she made me feel so special about my brown eyes. Like, and with your brown eyes, this shimmery eyeshadow, and then this, and I remember we were using a plum purple eyeliner, and I thought I was legit the coolest person on the planet of wearing like a dark plum purple eyeliner and mascara. And she showed me a little bit of like where to put my blush on, and it was so fun. It was so fun. And I know girls are getting really into wanting to do that. Like they're getting influenced by social media for skincare and for makeup and stuff. And I highly recommend that. Like for maybe birthday or Christmas are coming up, have family members give them like Ulta gift cards. And I don't know if I would just shoot from the hip and like go into Ulta and expect somebody to like do this, but maybe you could call into your Ulta, or you could stop in and say like, hey, I'm really wanting to teach my daughter this, or stop by a Bare Minerals place, or a department store, whatever. Or take if you want to modernize this a little bit, ask your daughter, like, which makeup influencers are you liking? And like, let's follow some of her tutorials. And then maybe we'll go buy a couple of those things. But this did prevent me. I didn't go through the like awkward makeup phase as a tween and teenager. And I really think that this is why, because I had the education and I felt really confident on it. I remember the first couple times I did the eyeliner, my mom was kind of like, whoa, that's maybe a little too much, but I was getting the hang of it, and it built my confidence. And it also was just a fun memory. Like I remember that day, I know that we had to do other errands, but it was something special I got to do. And then when it came to prom and homecoming and various things like that, I had professionals do my makeup then. Like, and it was just, I think it just taught me a lot of how to use makeup in a way that feels fun and not needing to cover up my skin, not needing to do this or that to my face. I don't feel like I need to wear makeup, but for me, it's definitely something now that I enjoy doing. I enjoy taking the time. And you guys know I work from home, and even when I had babies, even when my boys were toddlers, I felt so much better if I just did a little something to my hair and a little something to my face, and it made me feel good. It made me feel like it was the hands-on thing that I did to take care of myself. And you get better with it the more you do it, because that's what I hear a lot is ladies are like, oh, I'm just not good with makeup. Well, start small, and then you get better and you get better and you try things, and it takes practice. I don't think anybody knows how to be like a professional at hair and makeup right out of the gate, but the people who are professionals have done it a lot of times, and you'll get better and better and better. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope it wasn't too much. I will leave things linked down below. If there's anything that I missed linking, because that happens, let me know. Send me a DM on Instagram, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you loved what you heard or you want to share your favorite episode topics, please leave a rating and review. This helps the podcast growth and gives people an idea of what the podcast is all about. Something new and exciting that I wanted to share with you before we go is that we now have a Patreon page. This has replaced the Feminine Edge collective community in a cohesive place that is easier for me to manage and cheaper for you. If you are interested in our monthly classes, exclusive day in the life vlogs, Bible studies, community Q&A, and more, go to patreon.com/livingInSync and join for just $5 a month. Check out the show notes for any links or details of things referenced in today's episode, and I look forward to chatting with you in the next one.